What are you doing? Are you enjoying yourself? Hey, goofball. Hello. Sorry I interrupted you. What are you huffing and puffing about? Excuse me? Excuse me? I don't know what you're talking about. English. What are you huffing and puffing about? Is it windy out there today? Hmm? Excuse me. You can do whatever you want. You can stay out there, you can come in, whatever you want to do. You don't have to grumble at me. What did I just say? What did I say? You do not have to grumble at me. Don't be getting spasmolistic. Hi everyone, good morning. I hope you all are doing great today. Look, as soon as the camera turns on, this guy's got to bother me. A beautiful day out here today. Little breeze. It's supposed to be 74 today. It's going to be a great day. Supposed to be a windstorm today and tomorrow, but now they took it off of the forecast. I heard it last night though. It woke me up at about 3 a.m. I was up for a couple hours and then I kind of fell back asleep. Got up about 7:15 when Lefty very gently woke me up. He starts at a very low and I'm laying there, my eyes closed, pretending to be asleep, and I'm listening to him. He does this and he gets a little bit louder and a little bit louder until he hears me make a noise, and then he goes all the way. He goes all in. He's so funny. You're so polite. Look at you with the yellow, got like pollen and stuff on his head, or sap from the bushes. You can see all the little blooms and stuff we have here. There's actually rain in the forecast coming up here in a few days for about several days in a row. So there's going to be some rain out here again, it looks like. But I think we're going to be gone by then. Before we pack up and leave out of here, I wanted to show you all kind of what our camp looks like. And this is pretty standard for when we come to this area, this same camp setup. So I'll show you, because I know some of you are curious. You have some questions. One of the things that I see a lot in the comments, and I just saw it in a comment this morning, asking me if we pack everything up when we go to town. And the answer is no. Like the mat, the chairs and all that, the shower tent, you know, all of this stays behind the motorcycle, you know, and I have two of my good friends right here. And so there's no way anybody's going to come and bother anything. And plus, there's really nobody around out here. There's a very small group of people that have been here for a while. I would trust leaving my things here with this group that's around here all the time. But that would make, you know, you're talking about an hour trip into town, and it would take me way longer than that to pack everything up. So no, I don't pack everything up. And that holds true for most of all the places we've camped at. Some of the places we've camped at, like what comes to mind is Alamo Lake, Gooseberry Mesa up in Utah. Those are places where we went in there, we only stayed like 10 days, and then we left. And those were planned that way because the route in is really long and tedious. You know, miles and miles of dirt road kind of thing. And there's no close by town to go to. So you stock up on water, food, all of that stuff, propane, make sure you're stocked up. You go to that area, you spend a week or two, and then you just bomb out when you're done and go somewhere else. So those are the times when we don't head into town and leave things behind, just because it's not easy to do it in those locations. It's way too far of a trip to go for a restock run. And so let's take a look at the camp. The bike, I've got it over under my friend's canopy over there, just so it stays out of the sun and all that. So I've been using the screen cover, windscreen cover here. This thing, the amount of heat that this reduces is just amazing. If you've never used one of these and you have a vehicle that they make them for, get one. Way better than using the Reflectix inside. I really prefer this. You know, what I used to do, like over the winter time when we had chilly nights and I'm running the heater, I used to have the separator down between the cab and the box, because up here gets very chilly. You know, if it's 30 degrees at night, the cab is going to be the coldest part because of the glass and everything. And that would make the box, believe it or not, too warm. The heater would heat up that area, get too warm. So now you put this on, which blocks people from being able to see. You don't put the separator down between the cab and the box, and now the heater is heating the box and the cab. And that's way better, at least for my vehicle, with the size, square footage, and how strong my heater is. Having both the cab and the box heated is way better during the winter time. The heater does way better with the larger area. So this thing cuts down temperature. Like when we come back from town and it's a sunny, warm day and we get here and we park, the first thing I do is put this back on. And as soon as it's draped across there, immediately the temperature in the cab just drops. It's incredible. You know, Lefty can lay up in the cab on his chair and take his afternoon nap when it's warm out, because this thing just reflects so much of the sun heat off of the cab. Those things work so well. So, you know, I really like having big mats out here. You can see Lefty kind of uses it as his lounge area. You know, I've actually stepped out here in my sock feet before, having to do something quickly, and I'm not stepping right into the dirt. So having a big mat, really like it. You know, I've talked about these before, these like giant nails with the big fender washers on them. These are the best for holding down the mats, and Lefty's leash doesn't get caught on them. You know, the ones with the green hook on them, his leash catches on those all the time. That's what I used to use. That was after the rocks. Originally it was rocks, and his leash, he used to drag those rocks all over the place. And then I switched to the stakes with the green hook on the top, but his leash caught on them, and that's when somebody showed me what they had with these. So I've got them, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So 4 down the long side, 3 down the short side, and this thing is not going anywhere. Because if you don't have these held down really tight and you get a windstorm, it'll lift these up, and what it does is, I've seen it happen, it makes these flap and all the sand goes blowing up and right in my window. That little window right there. I've seen it happen before. It's the worst. I don't talk about this much. That's my toilet. The bag bucket method. It works very well for us. If any of you, you know, I've had my daughter, it reminds me of, you know, changing diapers back in the day. It's actually not as bad as that. That's a topic I don't talk about much, but that's how I use the toilet. No, Lefty doesn't use that. Probably train him to. So his repaired chair made it through the winter, the whole season. The snaps that I put on, one of you sent me the snap kit. So I was able to get this thing secured with the snaps, and this thing has held perfectly. So Mom's new cover that she made, plus the snaps that one of you sent us, perfect. This is a great chair. He is so comfortable in that thing because it's so big. This chair that Mom sent me, this has really come in handy. It's perfect for when I am working on the laptop and putting together videos for y'all. It's the perfect height because it sits me up nice and straight. So I carry that inside and use it up against my flip down table with the laptop on it. So that's my laptop chair and my outside sitting chair. And then Lefty's bed here again with the cover that Mom made him. And this cover is perfect. It's made it through the full season. I don't see any issues. She really like super stitched this, and this material is so strong and waterproof, and she put padding in it so it's got a nice cushion to it. He lays in this quite a bit. He really likes this thing. So Lefty's assortment of toys here that y'all, some of these are toys we had. Most of them are toys that y'all have sent him. This was a gift. That ball, that squiggy, that Spider-Man newspaper, all of these were gifts. There's another squiggy there, there's a pull toy, there's another ball, all gifts from all of you for Lefty. You all spoil him tremendously. Today is actually March 29th, which is Lefty's birthday. That's the day back in 2014 that he grabbed me at the shelter and made me take him home. So a great day for me. So I look back through my Google Photos to see the exact day because I took pictures of him that first day. And he was, like I have this one picture that I took of him, and it makes me like get choked up thinking about it. We had just gotten to my house, and he's laying in the middle of my kitchen floor. You know, the kitchen floor had just like the linoleum tile, you know, cold and not good. And he's just kind of laying down. Like we had gotten to my house, he was super wound up, and then he just kind of crashed and laying in the middle of that cold kitchen floor, just kind of by himself. And it's just I see that picture and it makes me sad thinking about what must have been going through his head, but that's all way behind us now. He doesn't remember any of that, I'm sure, right? Oh, you do? Do you remember that first day? And you started your training of me? Yeah, look how far you've come with me now. You've got me well trained. He does. Based on the noises he makes, I know what he wants, right? He's got me well trained. Our fold-out step. This was a gift. We had bought the exact same type, but it was smaller. It didn't have as big of a footprint as this, and there were times I slipped off it a couple times, and Lefty slipped off it a couple times. And so one of you saw that and said, you need a bigger one, and you sent us this bigger one, and it fits perfectly in our tall cabinet there. Oh gosh, I just remembered. I've stuffed a bunch of things in there. Oh no. Oops. The place where this is supposed to be stored, I've put a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna have to find. Hey, I know, that's upsetting, isn't it? Yeah, we gotta find a new place for our step stool. Well, see, I forgot. I would have figured it out here in a couple days when I start packing everything up. So around the back, I talked about this in a recent video. I use this out here just for like utility, rinsing things out. You know, I have the sink inside, but I leave this sitting out here The sun actually warms the water up in this thing really well. And I use it just for cleaning out dishes and such instead of doing it in the sink. I don't like to put food down the sink into the waste jug. So this is always out here. That's like a 6-gallon jug. They have these at Walmart. They're pretty inexpensive. And then around this side, the shower tent. Actually just took a shower yesterday. I put down this tarp just to increase the footprint and keep more of the dirt that would blow inside underneath the edges. So I use this as just a little bit of storage when I'm not taking a shower. And then when it's time for a shower, I just set it outside here. I don't know why I didn't put my ladder back in there. These ladders do better when you try to keep them out of the elements. You know, they slide and extend. And I found few years ago, I started leaving it outside all the time. And we were in an area where it rained and all that. And I noticed that the extending action, like when you go to close it, it's just supposed to kind of slide down as you hit the little levers. And it wasn't. It was slowing it down. So I started storing it inside all the time, and then its operation went back to being really smooth. So I got to put that inside the tent. These are new cable tensioners that I have. Chris got some of these, my friend that's right over next to us. These are ratcheting cable tensioners. So you can see this cable, these are all the way to the max length. So this comes in, it goes around a wheel and back out here, and it has a ratcheting system in it with a little clicker and a release lever right here. These are awesome. These have been up here for a while with no problem. Obviously, because the cable is all the way maxed out, you know, you can replace it with a longer piece, but these things, they hold tight. They have a cam mechanism, like a clicker tensioner in there. So instead of the little slider ones where you kind of horseshoe your string through there, these are way better. They're on Amazon. They come, like that one says 1/8 of an inch. That's based on what size cable you're putting through it. These work really well, really well. Now then over here, we've got obviously the trash area. You know, I said I had some trouble with one of the dogs getting into the trash a little bit. So Bobby's watching her to make sure that doesn't happen. So right here, so I hang them out here. I've never had them blow away. If it's gonna be windy, I put them right there, catches behind underneath that little bump there, so they never blow away. And that's from my last oil change. There's a shop in town that accepts the used motor oil, so I'm going to be taking that into town on our next trip and getting rid of it. And then more garbage, empty milk bone box. And I mentioned in the last video, we've been, you know, all these years out on the road, and I've never had our garbage ripped apart by coyotes, anything like that. It's never happened. In fact, it never happened up till this year, and just because one of Bobby's dogs got over here and couldn't resist all the good smells coming out of it, I guess. And then this is Lefty's patio, which doesn't do well with the wind. It kind of blows and balls up all the time, so I'm constantly flattening it back out. But because it's getting warmer out, you can see he's laying in the shade over there, so he's kind of stopped his sunbathing, which is good. He's smart, because his pink skin, because I was constantly moving him out of the sun, so he finally figured it out, and he prefers to lay in the shade now. And if it gets up like 80 degrees and above, he'll come up inside with me and lay there in front of the fan. So he's gotten smart from the heat. So our camp area here, we've got our own little exit right here. You wind out of here, you take a right, you head this way, and you've seen it in the videos. You pass over a little wash up there, and then out and up the wash onto the paved road. So the pavement is right up there You can see we're down in a lower area, and that's why there's dirt down here, because over the years the dirt has washed down this way. So there's a little rise, it flattens up, and then a little bit farther is the road. So that's why we come to this area specifically, because there's dirt down here. The other side of the road up there, very rocky, not good for the dogs. So that's our camp area. Nothing exciting, nothing extravagant, but very comfortable, you know, very comfortable. We have very comfortable days here. Oh, that's my buddy. Thank you for the kisses. You are such a, right on the lips. You got me. Oh my gosh. This guy, 70 pounds. Yes, you are. 70 pounds with yellow spots on your head from the bushes. You're such a goof. So that's our campsite. Everybody wish Lefty a happy birthday. Take care, be safe. We'll see y'all again really soon.